We are getting an overland camping upgrade by putting a camper shell on the bed of this truck. The crazy thing about this camper shell is that it came in pieces, all shipped in a cardboard box. It's kind of like a Build-A-Bear, but for overlanders. So you're gonna wanna stay tuned because in today's video, I'm gonna take this camper shell out of its box in pieces, put the puzzle pieces together and build the camper shell right here on the Fortune Taco. If that's something you're interested in, stay tuned and check out today's video. What's going on, guys? Welcome back for another video. If you're new here, my name is Chris. Right behind me here, this is the Fortune Taco. And if you've never seen my videos before, on this channel, I like to do installs and mods on the truck, as well as off-road adventures or any of the events I attend. If that is something that you're interested in, please consider hitting that subscribe button. But in today's video, we are gonna be putting a camper shell in this thing, and I know it seems a little crazy, but there's a camper shell inside that box right here laying in my garage. This is gonna be an aluminum camper shell made by a company called OPENROAD 4-wheel drive. The first product I got from them, and I also did a video on this channel if it's something you're interested in, their shower awning setup and their off-road water tank, their overland water tank, camping water tank, whatever you wanna call it. And we're adding another piece to the puzzle, just working on building up this camping setup, overland setup more and more. OPENROAD 4-wheel drive did send this out to me so I could get it installed and create a video for you guys. And they wanted me to be 100% honest. I'm not gonna get too crazy detailed with the installation, but I'm gonna show you some of the steps and just show you what it takes to bring this camper shell out of a box and fully built and put up on the truck. And then after I have it fully set up and on the truck, I'm just gonna give you my initial thoughts on it, a brief little review of what I think of the product. And after some long-term use, some camping trips and whatnot with it, I will hopefully be able to give you guys more feedback on what I truly think about the product. All right, so now that we have the bed of the truck all cleaned out, we want to get this box opened up so we can start to spread out all the parts and kind of get a plan for how we're going to put this puzzle together. So the box does have some damage to it, nothing too crazy. So hopefully this is all packed properly and there's no damage to the product itself. Looks like this is gonna be one of the side pieces. The back, I see a window in here. I don't know if you guys can see that, but that's me. Our back door, another rail, which I think those go on the roof. And then speaking of the roof, it's gonna be our roof panel. All right, just as I'm unboxing this, just a couple quick little features and things I'm noticing. The window that is gonna go against the cab appears to be, all the glass is a nice tempered glass. This one is gonna be clear, so you can see through your back window out into the camper. And then you'd also be able to hopefully see out the back window. The back one here is obviously on a hinge system. This is a rear door. This is also tempered glass, but this is smoked. It has a nice tint to it for privacy, which I wasn't 100% aware of that. I thought it was gonna be a clear window, but I like the smoked glass, so that's good there. We have a third brake light here we need to wire in. I believe it's gonna be a full LED third brake light. And then we have these two rails that are gonna go up on the roof, and this is what you would attach accessories to. We need to get the roof panel taken off, and then both of our side doors we still need to unpackage, but I just wanted to kind of briefly get a little bit of info on these front and back panels. The build seems pretty damn good. Everything looks really good. I don't see any damage, no scratches. Everything's in really good shape, and then I like the tempered glass, but we'll get some more looks at this once I have it fully assembled. We'll see if there's anything in the instructions about this thing, but that's the accessory light bar that was in the packaging. So this might be some type of internal light bar. Our box of hardware here, our instructions, silicone weather stripping kind of stuff. I believe this is gonna be provided seam sealer. So another thing that OPENROAD recommends or I guess they provide this to you if you want to use it, where all of the panels come together. They want you to put seam sealer on it, so this thing is all secured and waterproof. I don't exactly plan on mine being a waterproof unit, so I think I'm gonna skip this step, but it's kind of nice. They provide that to you if you choose to make your camper shell a fully waterproof camper shell. If anybody has Tacoma and you know about those bed rail systems, these should be familiar to you. They are the T-nuts that go into the Tacoma bed rails. Holy keys. 2 keys, 4 keys, 6 keys, 8 keys, 10 keys, 12 keys. What? OPENROAD, why the heck did you supply 12 keys with this camper shell? It's a little excessive. All right, so after getting all the hardware laid out, I was looking at the instruction manual for the hardware count. Compared to what I have, and the numbers do not line up. So it's a little bit of an issue, but after going over, looking through the full instructions on what exactly needs to be done, I counted up all the holes, and for everywhere there needs to be a bolt, I have a bolt for it. For every step of the process, I have the exact number of hardware I need, or actually have a little bit more than what is needed to install this, put it all together, have it on the truck. But for some reason, the numbers that are stated in here of what you should have are way, way off for what I actually have, even though I have a little bit extra and a little bit more than what I need to do the install. So I don't know if this is just a typo, what's going on here, but when I first saw that, I was kind of counting things up, I freaked out a little bit. Then I looked it all over and I literally counted every single hole I have. I looked at every single step, and I'll have a couple leftover pieces of hardware for the install to get it done. But for some reason, this page is showing me I'm gonna be like 60 to 70 pieces short on hardware. Hopefully we can get some answers on that one. OPENROAD does require using 2 people to set this thing up. It's probably highly recommended. I'm a one-man show, so I'm gonna try to do my best to get this thing assembled and put together by myself. Typically what you would do is assemble this whole entire thing here on the ground, put it all together, and then lift it up onto the truck. I think I'm gonna try to take like a panel or 2 at a time, put them on the truck, start piecing things together, kind of like a little Lego project. Hopefully no issues. Hopefully no issues. All right, I'm jumping forward here a little bit because there's one thing I did forget when I was originally doing the install. I want to remind you guys, this weather stripping is provided to you to line the whole bottom of this thing where it makes contact with the truck, just to make a nice tight weather seal. Now, I know I had mentioned before, I'm not using the seam sealer because I'm not trying to go 100% waterproof with this thing, but putting this weather stripping on the bottom does 2 things for you. It puts a barrier between the metal truck and the plastic caps to give it a nice soft cushion. But 2, what I also noticed is when I was trying to close the tailgate after putting this all together, my tailgate, the top of the tailgate here, was running into the bed cover because they were just sitting too close together. So by putting this weather rubber strip down below the cab, between the cab and the bed, it gave it just enough room, so now my tailgate clears just fine. So they provide you with a whole entire roll to where you can put it all the way down the sides, on that back piece to where it touches the cab, and along the other side. I'm gonna try to start off with putting that back section up there. And on the back section, there's these 2 holes at the bottom. They're gonna bolt to 2 factory locations there in the bed. I had a factory bed cover on here when I first bought my truck. So there was a mount that was up on here for the bed cover to attach to. I just pulled that mount off. And then I have 2 threaded inserts here. And I'm just using the factory hardware that came off of my bed cover. Hopefully, because I don't pay attention to their Tacomas, hopefully every Tacoma has something in here and there's already hardware just sitting here on every single truck and you just reuse this. So I just put these on hand tight so it still has a little bit of move and play. The next thing I want to do is grab one of my side pieces and I'm going to start to attach that. So to just attach those 2, I just grabbed a couple pieces of hardware. I did 4 bolts, 4 nuts. Just kind of doing a couple different holes there to bring those 2 pieces together, did them nice and hand tight, just to at least hold that assembly together. The next thing I want to do is grab this other side piece, same thing, a couple bolts, just to slowly bring this thing together, and then I'll really go through and do all the hardware, tighten everything up once everything is assembled so we have it all aligned correctly. Now that we have both of the sides attached, the next thing we're going to want to do is attach these 3 bottom tabs to that bed rail using those T-nuts we talked about earlier. You're gonna slide them into your bed rail. All right, so I'm a little disappointed in the hardware here, but OPENROAD wanted me to be open and honest with you guys. Hopefully this is something they can solve and fix. We have another issue here. The T-nuts that are supposed to be sliding in the bed rail, they do not work very well with the 3rd gen bed rail, only because the backside, I think the thickness is too much. The bolts that hold your bed rail to the truck are interfering with these blocks. So I actually had to take a grinder. It's not the best job, but I don't even know if the camera's gonna pick it up. I had to grind like a rounded groove in the back of this block so it can go past all these bolts in here. Hopefully they can improve their hardware. Hopefully me giving them feedback will help them fix their hardware. That tells a lot about a company. When they have an issue, someone tells them about it and they make a fix. Now, if they're just gonna ignore it, that's gonna be a little bit disappointing. We have both of the side pieces attached. The next piece of the puzzle, we're gonna be adding the roof up in here, and then we can get that back door on, but the transformation is already beginning. The next part we need to attach is gonna be this roof, along with the roof rails, so you can attach accessories to the roof. The nice thing about these roof rails is that they already have the bolts built into it. So this is kind of like a big washer. The bolts are already built into this rail, so these rails are just gonna go up on the roof. The threads will come down through the holes in the roof, and then you're gonna put this on the inside along with some of the nuts to fasten and tighten all this up. And that's what holds your sides, the roof, and the rails to the truck, so they're all bringing themselves together. On the bottom here, you can see this is gonna be the inside of the camper with these reinforcement bars. The very, very front one has an arrow pointing forwards, which means that goes towards the cab. So this is going one way only. It looks like it's about the same exact thing front to back, but just know that arrow is telling you that needs to go to the front. Oh, it's gonna be dark in here. All right, now that we have the roof on, it echoes in here. At the very front, with this first front piece we put on, I want to put a couple bolts through here, connecting that roof piece to the front of the truck. So taking these rails up to the roof of the truck, we have these holes where the edge of the top panel meets the side panel. These pre-threaded bolts on the rails are going to slide down into there, and then we're going to attach nuts from the bottom side inside the camper. Now with the rails on top, we're gonna take these metal plates, like I said, are like a big washer. That's gonna get pushed up onto the threads, and then using some of these smaller flange nuts, they're for an M6 bolt, we're gonna use these to secure all of these pieces together. Now with that roof mounted up, the last thing we have to do is add our back piece on. That part's gonna be fun because before we had a lot of easy access to all the bolts and holes. Once this back thing's on, leaving the tailgate open, we either have to crawl under here or we have to open up these side latches to reach in and secure our hardware. So I just learned something. Those top rails are specific on the direction they go in. I accidentally put them backwards. I'll show you. Well, when I was first putting this on, I knew I had to tuck this up under this rail. You can see that overhang. The rail is hanging just a little bit over the back of the camper shell. When we come here to the front, there's a little bit of a gap here. So I think if I flip the bar around, it'll line up perfectly with both seams. So I'm gonna go ahead and flip both of those rails around and then see if that helps with the alignment issue on the back of the camper. So now that I flipped this driver's side one around, you can see the edge of the rail is flush with this seam, and same on the front. The edge of the rail is flush with this seam. So that's what you want to see when you put these rails on. Verify when you're installing that, that's how yours look. Not like this. If you have any type of overhang and you're not lining up with that seam, well, then there is an issue and you have those rails on incorrectly. Minus just a few little extra touches, this thing is complete. We have all the pieces together, it's assembled, it's installed on the truck. We have that hardware issue I mentioned in the beginning. We did have missing pieces based on what the paperwork told me, but I had enough hardware to do everything, so I think that's more of a typo on the paperwork. The only real hardware issue we had was already mentioned, those T-nuts that go in the bed rails. That is something I do need to figure out. I need to get with OPENROAD and hopefully they can make a fix for this so nobody else that buys this has any issues. But overall, I am happy with this thing. For this thing being a universal bed cap, because honestly they make it for Ford, Chevy, Toyota, Dodge, Jeep. This thing contours the truck really well. In my opinion, all the lines, the shapes, the angles, I think it kind of fits with the Tacoma. I don't know if this is just how all bed caps are. I've never had a camper shell. I've never had a bed cap on a truck I've ever owned before. So this is all new to me, but overall, I think it looks pretty awesome. We'll see in the long run how this thing holds up. I do have some extra goodies I need to add to this thing. That is gonna be a future video. So on these side panels, they make like a cargo box that goes in here so you can have shelves and stuff. I have two of those, one for each side. And then they also make accessory crossbars that attach on here, making attaching a rooftop tent much easier. So I already have those things. I'm gonna be installing them, but I'm gonna be making a separate video. So if you're interested to see those cargo boxes or the roof rails so you can add a tent to this thing, you're gonna wanna subscribe to the channel so you'll see when I release that video, but that will be coming sometime in the future. If you have any questions about this OPENROAD camper shell, make sure to drop a comment down below. I try my best to reply to every comment that is left on my videos, and if I don't have the answer and if it's something I might not be able to figure out, I'll see if I can get OPENROAD involved and hopefully get an answer from them. There is one last thing about this I didn't cover in this video and I just haven't done yet. I've run out of time today, but your third brake light needs to be wired up. So obviously when you press on the brake, it is visible and seen, because as of right now, the actual truck's third brake light is gonna be obstructed and blocked. On the end of the wiring harness, there is a power and a ground. What you need to do is run this either direction you choose down the shell to one of your tail lights. You're gonna pull your tail light out and there's gonna be a power and ground wire in there going to your normal brake light. You need to find out which one is not a turn signal, not a reverse, but the one that when you press on a brake pedal, it gives it power. When the brake is not touched, there's no power. They did supply you with a little wire tap here. So yeah, tap into that power wire, and then you'll have your third brake light working and running. If you enjoyed this video, drop a thumbs up down below. It helps the video be more successful to get seen by people just like yourself. Thank you guys for sticking around all the way to the end. I appreciate you, and I will see you on my next video.